Hello, welcome back to my channel Watchlist by Miss C. Those who are new, this channel is all about murder, mystery, true crime, historical events, some celebrity gossip, and much, much more. Our today's video is about the most famous unsolved mysteries around the world. On number 1, we have the Detloff Pass incident. In the February of 1959, 9 ski hikers died mysteriously in the mountains of what is now Russia. The group of hikers set up their camps, enjoyed the dinner, and prepared for sleep on the night of the incident, but something went horribly wrong and the group never returned. Days later, on 26 February, searchers finally found the hikers' tent, which was abandoned and ripped open from the inside. In the area surrounding, there were footprints left by the group, some wearing socks, some wearing a single shoe, some barefoot, and all these footprints led the searchers to the edge of a nearby wood. And that's where the first two bodies were found, shoeless and wearing only underwear. Initially, it was thought that hypothermia was the cause of death, but as medical examiners thoroughly examined these bodies and the bodies of the remaining 7 that were discovered over the following months, death by hypothermia didn't make sense. One body had evidence of a blunt force trauma consistent with the brutal assault. Another body had third-degree burns, one had been vomiting blood, one was missing a tongue, and some of their clothing was found to be radioactive. Now there were several theories revolving around the mysterious deaths of these 9 people. These theories include KGB interference, drug overdose, UFO, gravity anomalies, and the Russian version of the Yeti. Recently, a documentary filmmaker presented a theory involving a terrifying but real phenomenon called infrasound, in which the wind interacts with the topography to create a barely audible hum that can induce strong feelings of nausea, panic, dread, chills, nervousness, raised heartbeat rates, and breathing difficulties. Only point that remains consistent is the involvement of an overwhelming and inhuman force. So what do you think? How did 9 people die without any definite reason? And number 2, we have the disappearance of Paula Jean Weldon. Paula Jean Weldon was 18-year-old and was a sophomore at Bennington College when she disappeared. On December 1, 1946, Paula told her roommate Elizabeth Parker that she was going for a long walk, but she never returned. A search was done focusing mostly on Vermont's Long Trail because that's where the local witnesses reported having seen her, but no clues were found, and that's when unquestionably strange leads began to surface. Firstly, a Massachusetts waitress claimed that she served an agitated young woman matching Paula's description. Upon hearing this waitress's claim, Paula's father disappeared for 36 hours, supposedly in pursuit of the lead, but it was definitely a strange move that led to his becoming a prime suspect in Paula's disappearance. Soon stories began circulating that Paula's home life wasn't nearly as idyllic as her parents had told the police. Paula didn't even return home for Thanksgiving the week prior, and she maybe was distraught about a disagreement with her father. For his part, Paula's father posited a theory that Paula was distraught about a boy she liked, and perhaps the boy should have been a suspect. For over the next decade, a local Bennington man twice bragged to his friends that he knew where Paula's body was buried. But turned out he was just blabbering and was unable to lead the police to any body. And so, with no evidence of a crime, no body, and no forensic clues, the case grew colder, and with that The theories grew stranger, including those linked to paranormal stuff. An author and occult researcher, Joseph Citro, came up with the Bennington Triangle theory, which explained the disappearance as linked to a special energy that attracts outer space visitors who would have taken Paula with them back to their world. Number 3, we have the story of the young Walter Collins. In March of 1928, a 9-year-old boy named Walter Collins went missing from his home in Los Angeles. His mother, Christine Collins, was a single mom and she then reported her sons missing to the police. 5 months later, the police brought Walter back to Christine, except it wasn't Walter, and Christine knew it. But the LA police ignored Christine's concerns and they literally went too far, to an extent of accusing her of being a terrible mother and having her committed to a mental hospital. The real Walter Collins was never found, and over time authorities started to believe that he was one of the victims of convicted child murderer Gordon Stewart Northcutt. Although Northcutt's mother offered a confession for killing Walter, but Walter Collins' body was never found and nobody knows what really happened with him. And most importantly, it's so confusing that why the police tried so hard to cover up Walter's disappearance, that they brought a different child back to Christine and tried to convince her, literally tried to convince the boy's mother and the rest of the world that it was Walter. How silly of them to even think that a mother won't recognize her child. On number 4, we have Mary Celeste, the ghost ship. In November of 1872, a British-American ship called the Mary Celeste set sail from New York and bound for Genoa, Italy. She was manned by Captain Benjamin Briggs and 7 crew members, including Briggs' wife and their 2-year-old daughter. Supplies on the ship were ample enough for 6 months and it was luxurious, including a sewing machine and an upright piano. On December 14, 1872, the Mary Celeste was found empty and adrift in the Atlantic. It was found to be seaworthy with its cargo fully intact except for a lifeboat. It seemed like it had been boarded in an orderly fashion, but why? We may never know because no one on the ship was ever found again. It's believed that to abandon a seaworthy ship like this could have been a result of some extraordinary and alarming circumstances. Even the last entry on the ship's daily log revealed nothing unusual, and inside the ship, everything was in order. Several theories were proposed over years, including mutiny, pirate attack, or an assault by a giant octopus or a sea monster. In recent years, scientists have proposed a theory that fumes from alcohol on board caused an explosion that, as a result of scientific anomaly, didn't leave behind signs of burning but was terrifying enough that Briggs ordered everyone into the lifeboat. But the point is, where did they all go with the lifeboat? Where did they disappear? Not a single survivor? That's very, very weird. So which of the above incident frightened you the most? Kindly subscribe to my channel if you want to know more about such mysterious stories. Like, comment, subscribe and share with your friends and family. Thank you.